Hello everyone, my name is Yeeves and welcome on my channel. Today we're going to talk about one of my most played multiplayer games of all time, Brawlhalla. Now before I start this review, I would like to point out that I have played this game since the character Ember got introduced, clocking over 450 hours into it as of today, with my all-time best elo being around 1700. Now for some of you this all might not seem like much, but at least you can understand that I have at least some basis to base this review on. If you're fairly new to this game and not really know what it's all about, please be sure to check the game out before watching this video. It's a really fun experience for the casual player and there is a lot to love about it. However, I won't be going too deep into that stuff. This video will be more about certain gameplay issues and me talking about stuff I do and don't like. Keep in mind that this video contains mostly my opinion and I won't go easy on the game. I will, however, try to explain my opinion as best as I can. Without further ado, let's start. I don't want to hang on to this subject for too long, but I do have to mention that I like what they did here. The game managed to not get stuck in that 8-bit, 16-bit style which so many indie titles do nowadays, but rather goes for a more cartoony style of presentation. This creates a new experience and is always fun to look at. I think the main menu is a great overlay for the game. You have your stats and inventory as well as settings in the top right and a chat box in the bottom right. While in the middle of the screen some cool new items as well as a box which the competitive nature of this game gets represented in. Overall a clear view of the game and I appreciate this. I also like to point out how the play button is light up for people who are new to the game, as well as the shop being at the bottom of the list. Inside the shop you encounter the same type of overlay with all the tabs to the left, as well as 10 hot new items which you might want to buy. This shop is a shop done right and I really like this. The prices for the skins and other goodies are good and well deserved, except for maybe the podiums, which I think are a little too expensive. Of course none of these cosmetics are pay to win and I find myself buying some new cool looking skins all the time. In here you can also find a tab in which you can spend hard earned coins to buy a cool color for your favorite legends. Again, this is appreciated, since you don't ask any real money and it gives a real great sense of progression outside of the battlefield. Going back to the main menu, I think the game modes are all fun and given a clear picture as to what they are all about. I really miss a casual 1v1 mode, but I guess experimental and strike out do the job just fine. There's a lot of things to do as just a casual player and the game is in my opinion at its best when played with friends. However, if you do like a bit more challenge, then there's always the ranked mode, in which you can fight with a friend in a 2v2 battle or alone in 1v1 battles. Which brings me to my next topic. As of the time of recording, the current roster of Brawlhalla contains 40 legends. Now let's start with what I like about this. I think the development team did a fantastic job making every legend cool and unique. Not a single legend looks boring or like any of the other ones without skins. You have all sorts of legends ranging from pirates to aliens back to dragons and this is really fun. Each of these legends comes with 2 certain weapons out of a pool of 11 different weapons, as well as 4 different stats. Those stats are attack, defense, dexterity and speed, which makes those legends stand out even more than they already did. However, this is where things go a little wrong. You see, having such a wide variety of options limits the selection you can play as. As a casual player you won't really notice this, but as someone who wants to climb the rank ladder, you will experience that you won't be able to play all 40 legends. A great example of this is my favorite designed legend in the game, Cross. I think he looks amazing and I would love to play him, but I just can't because I don't enjoy playing the blasters and granted, I think I just suck at playing them. I will play him in a casual custom lobby with friends, but not a ranked 1v1 because I will give myself a disadvantage then. Of course, this is all opinion based and you might find yourself playing whoever you like regardless of if you win or lose, but I'm a very competitive person, so I will take every advantage I can get over my opponent, which means playing the 2 weapons I feel most comfortable with. However, there is also another issue that occurs with this much variety, weapon imbalance. Now I don't really see this as much of an issue as other people do, but I have to note that yes, Cannon feels a little weaker than Axe. The reason that I don't really see this as an issue is because weapon and stat imbalance will always be a thing. This is something that can never be fixed, since new content will keep getting added over time. I also see a lot of people complaining about X being imbalanced, which I have to disagree with. Nothing is broken. X is just easier to play than most other weapons, and this is completely fine. For example, I hate playing against Scythe, but this is my fault, not that of the balance team. There is however another problem in balance that I do have a big issue with, which are the stages. Alright, good things first again. I really like how the stages look. Every stage has its own background art, which looks phenomenal. One thing I haven't pointed out so far as well is the music in the game, which shines most when battling. These music pieces are beautiful and I always have my in-game sound on listening to the music. Blackguard Keep is my favorite in this aspect. The music in this stage is fantastic and I even found myself listening to it outside of the game itself. I think every stage works in its own right for people who want to play with their friends. But for the competitive ranked player, these stages suck hard. In my opinion, there are two maps that completely kill the fun in ranked when I see them. Those stages are 2v2 small Brawlhalla and 1v1 small Fangwild. Fuck these stages. They should be removed out of the pool. First let's talk about 2v2 small Brawlhalla. This one is more opinion based, but stages this small should not be in a 2v2 pool. This only makes for unnecessary chaos in the stage because of how crowded it is all of a sudden. I think Miami Dome has the same issue, but at least that stage has some small platforms on which you can stand. You just can't focus on your actions because of the free sources that can damage you and you often just feel like you got killed by some cheap thing that happened to you. Then you have 1v1 small Fangwild, which is the worst stage for a ranked environment. You see, every stage has the same concept. There's a solid platform in the middle of the stage and a box surrounding the platform which kills you once you cross it. This is the concept of a fighting game with knockback and this is what you get used to. Then all of a sudden the box is gone because of a stupid roof which cancels out the top side. This consistency of the box is suddenly gone and you'll have to adapt to not being able to kill people at the top side anymore. I get that a variety of different stages can lead to a fresh new experience, but this is not the way to do it. Legends that have moves which kill on the top side suddenly are useless. I know that you can ban one stage before going in game, but banning a stage should be because you don't like playing on it. For example, I don't like playing on the Great Hall since I always fuck up my edge guarding because of those smaller platforms on the left and right. This is again my fault, and for that reason a stage ban is highly appreciated. But a roof in the Fangwild is something that I didn't do, so I shouldn't be in need to ban it either. Don't get me wrong though, the Fangwild is a really fun map to play on well with friends in a casual room, since the roof can indeed cause some cool kills. But this is not what I want in ranked. I've talked about this in the legend section of this video a little bit, but every legend comes with two weapons. These legends all have their own signature moves on those weapons. So while Ember and Ragnar both have guitars, Ragnar's guitars play a lot differently than those of Ember's because of the signature moves that they bring with them. This is fantastic, I love this. Not only do the signature moves further push the differences in characters, but they also give each player the option to search for the one guitar legend that really fits their style. This does mean that some weapons are better than others though, like how Cassidy's guns are a lot stronger than those of Barraza's, but this never seemed to be a big deal for me. I guess now would be a good time to talk about what I think is the most frustrating gameplay style this game has to offer, the passive playstyle. Now this is mainly the reason why I stop playing ranked sometimes or just leave the game in general for a long period. This passive playstyle is the way players act while in battle. The player will just stay idle until you come over there and try to attack them. Now this doesn't really seem like a problem on first glance, since you can just go and attack them, it's not like they are unkillable or something. However, the problem strikes when you realize that being passive is just straight up better than being aggressive. You can't mess up while standing idle. Really, the only thing you have to do is wait until your opponent comes to attack, dodge his attack, and punish him right after, then repeat the pattern. The only way your opponent will ever be able to hit you is when you mess up your dodge. Now this is just horribly frustrating and shouldn't be a thing. And I gotta be honest, I don't know what to do about it. Usually I try to bring a solution to the table, but I have no idea how to fix this. I really hope the developers will figure this issue out, because playing like this is not fun. The sad reality is that you really don't need any form of skill at all to climb to gold, at least. Just play passive and an X legend, and you'll get there eventually, because people in silver just don't know how to counter it. Heck, I'm a platinum player and I struggle with it. This dominant strategy has been ruling the game for quite some time now, which is just a shame to see, because such a cheap strategy brings a lot of toxicity into the community, and I very, very rarely find an opponent that I really enjoy playing against. Blue Mammoth Games really delivers a fun game of Brawlhalla. It's free on Steam, and if you've never picked it up or gave it up after just a few hours, I'll say try it out again. It's my favorite multiplayer game right now, and it's been like that for over a year. Yes, the game has flaws here and there, especially apparent in the ranked game modes, but these things should and probably will never bother you in a casual setting. Even offline mode, which is something I haven't touched on, is really fun if you ever find yourself without Wi-Fi. Overall, I think I did a pretty good job explaining my thoughts about this game. I didn't cover every single thing because I didn't want to make this video that long, but for now I think this should be enough. And I think this will be my last Brawlhalla video since it's been a reoccurring game on the channel. However, I do think that this will be my most important one on the subject. So if you've managed to get to this part, I would really like to thank you for listening to me, and I hope to see you in a future video.